Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to Train Sim World 5, and we've got a bit of a special one today because On Track Simulation have given me an early look at the brand new West Coast Mainline South timetable, which is based in winter 2019. There's not a release date yet, but it's coming soon as I understand. And first thing off the bat, this is a PC mod only, unfortunately, just because of the way it works on console. It can't be released for consoles, so it is on PC. I'm the same as you guys. I'd love to run this on my PS5, but let's take a look anyway, because there is a lot to look at. We've got a manual which actually is 29 pages in length, which I believe you can get your hands on right now. Just have a look on Train Sim Community, see if you can find it on there. But we are going to run a Pendor service from a very busy London Euston all the way up to Milton Keynes. This is a Manchester Piccadilly service that we're going to run. You can see, when I say it's busy, we're in photo mode, of course. It's busy down at Euston. You can see all the white and black Pendors in that transitional period between Virgin, and Avanti West Coast. It doesn't seem like 5 minutes since they were running up and down looking like this, I must admit. And then we started to see Virgin liveries, and this is one. This is the Flowing Silk. This is our Pendor for today. You'll see it in the thumbnail as well. This is the Flowing Silk, and it looks lovely. All these liveries, by the way, come as part of the pack when you download it. You don't need to download any liveries separately. It's all packaged in there. So I'm going to come out of the photo mode. We're going to get set up, ready to go in the Pendor towards Milton Keynes, and we'll talk about it as we go. But as we do go, just keep an eye on just how busy this timetable is, and see what you think. I've been quite impressed with it so far. We'll talk about the total number of services you've got for each different train in this timetable. But let's get out of photo mode. And we need to get everything set up. So let's have the master key on. We'll go straight to forward, shall we? Cancel all the alarms. Let's put that on bright. We need the daytime lights on as well. Cancel the alarms. There's the day running ones. Right, let's go to the back wall because we need the fuses. The AWS is open. We'll close that. And then along the bottom we have got DSD. On the end we've got the vigilance, and then finally we've got the AWS, which is here. Cancel that. All ready to go. Something just popped past us. Was that a 378? You will, of course, need to own the routes where the stock comes from to be able to use this timetable. So I think that is West Coast Mainline South. Obviously, the Pendolino was a deluxe edition item, wasn't it, for the West Coast Mainline South. And then we've got the mild Mainline. You will need, it might be in the manual, but I think the mild Mainline, and do we need the suffragette? I don't know, but we'll find out. Let me just go and have a look what this is down here. I don't know if this is the 378 or not. Yeah, it's the 378, so that is the mild Mainline. I don't know if the others are on here from the suffragette, but we'll find out as we go, and we'll read the manual. I've skimmed the manual for the pertinent facts. Right, we've got the green, so we'll lock the doors. You can see there we are VT1 Hotel 24. Destination Manchester, next stop Milton Keynes. So let's do it, shall we? And you'll see one of the liveries here over on this 350, which you can get from Creators Club anyway, but you'll see the London North Western Railway You don't have to download it separately, as I said. You'll get that as part of the pack if you install this. So we'll take a look at all the traffic as we go. We've got a 25 coming out of Euston. We'll just sort of clear the built-up area of Euston just before Wembley, and then we'll have a look through the manual. The manual's great, by the way. There's so much work been put into this, you won't believe it. Which is funny, isn't it? Because sometimes we can't get manuals for the standard stuff, but we can get manuals from the community, like On Track Simulation, when they bring something out like this. This is the first mod, by the way, that I have added for Train Sim World. I know there's a few different mods out there. And generally, because I'm streaming it a lot to you guys on both PC and console, because consoles can't get mods, as we talked about a little bit earlier, I tend not to put the mods on. This one's a little bit different because this is a full timetable, which, you know, the existing timetable stays where it is. This one, you just select it when you go into timetable mode. There's two options now available. This one and the standard West Coast Mainline South. So, you know, this is not changing the weather or doing anything like that. This is just a timetable mod. So I thought I would put this one on just to see how busy it was in 2019. And as you're watching this, actually, the time that I'm going to put this out on Thursday, at 16:30, I will be on the 16:30 from Euston, heading towards Preston. So there you go. I will be on a Pendo heading towards Preston because I'm in London all day Thursday. So you can hear my voice, but I'm not actually there. So, right, let's get up to speed. So I've picked a kind of, you know, middle of the day service, so we can see what the level of traffic's like. Again, over here, plenty in the sidings. As we leave London, this livery's great. I've already got the full Virgin livery. You've seen me run that, and I've created the scenarios on Creators Club for going up and down the West Coast Mainline, Preston to Carlisle. But I didn't have this silk livery, flowing silk. I think there is a couple of versions available. I don't know if this livery will be released as a separate item, just in case you can't, you know, if you're on console, you can't get the timetable mod. I'm not sure whether the actual liveries themselves will be released separately. We can check on that, because they're all worth having if you're a scenario creator and they're available. We've got 43 miles to go up to Milton Keynes, and then I'm going to dive into the manual quite soon. The manual's quite good. If you're like me and you've never done mods before, it does explain how to install it, where you need to drop the files, etc. That's the first part of the manual, which for me was quite useful. I'll just get up to this 100 and then we'll dive into it. I've picked a summer's day. The timetable itself, again, let me just have a look at the manual. The timetable replicates the working timetable between Euston and Milton Keynes Central and its associated yards and branches as it was on the 26th of November 2019. So you can tell by the weather I've picked for this timetable service that this isn't November, this is August. So I'm showing you with a clear weather of August, early August. But the timetable itself is based on 26th of November 2019. So that's pretty good. We're near 100. get the speed set on. Here we go. As another Pendle passes us into Euston. Have a look outside whilst we're coming to speed. Trains going up and down the Lioness line there, as it does in the timetable that you get with this, but the services are obviously a little bit more in this mod, and we'll get to that. Right, we're getting up to 100, so if we're going to go to 125, so just give me a sec. Once we get up to speed, I'll put it into speed set 120. And then we'll talk about what we need to talk about. It's quite busy at this end of the route. I'm dying to get into the manual and talk about it, but the problem with driving and reading at the same time is it's not recommended, especially when it's me that's doing it. We'll have some kind of disaster. Right, let's get it up to 120. Wembley over there to our right hand side. We should have if I just set it to 120, we should have plenty of time. I don't think we need to slow down again until approaching Watford, which will give us a little bit of time to look at the manual. Right, I'll just set that there as it is. Just acknowledge that vigilance. Right, so going back to the manual. First section said how to install. What's included? So it has been crafted using that working timetable from 2019, 26th of November. And there are some... there's an example diagram of what's been used from them in the manual, which is quite nice to see. An actual diagram from the time. So getting into what you get. So London North Western Railway. So a fully complete LNWR Class 350 timetable, which includes the St Albans Abbey branch, which is AI only, you can't drive it. But there are 307 drivable services for the LNWR 350. 59 drivable 12 car, 150 drivable 8 car, and 98 drivable 4 car. So if driving the 350 is your thing, there's plenty to be going on with there, as is with Virgin Trains with the Pendolino. So again, a complete Pendolino timetable from back in 2019. There are 177 drivable services. 81 of those are with the 11 car, and 96 are drivable with the 9 car services. So there's various origins, destinations. So between Euston and Piccadilly, which is what we're on, beginning 1H. Then you've got Euston to New Street, Euston to Glasgow Central and Edinburgh, which is one of the ones that I will be on right now as we speak in real life. And we've also got London to Chester and Holyhead. Now, London to Piccadilly is 1 train per hour each direction. London to New Street is 1 train per hour in each direction. London to Glasgow is 1 train every 2 hours to Glasgow and 1 train every 2 hours to Edinburgh. And then London to Chester and Holyhead is 1 train per hour in each direction. So it's a busy old line, this one, and that's just what the Pendos are doing. There is a note that it says the 9-car Class 390 sets are covering the services that would have been operated by a 221. So just keep that in mind as well. And there's details of those. Now, if you're a fan of Southern, the Class 377, which we've seen on quite a few routes, this one's quite nice. The 377/2 timetable's got 46 drivable services. Not only that, if you've just got the standard timetable, they don't drive very far, do they? In this timetable, you're able to operate the train all the way up to Milton Keynes. That's a fair old run, isn't it, in the 377? At peak times, the service increases to half-hourly, with the addition of services that travel as far as Watford Junction. So, again, if the 377 is your thing, I'm quite looking forward to running the 377 a little bit further, I must admit. 46 drivable services for that. We, of course, have underground services on the Bakerloo line. This one's crazy. 761 services for the Bakerloo line. That's crazy. 761, including sleep trains, Queen's Park shunts, and a small number of other empty moves to Kilburn High Road. So, again, that's going to keep you busy. Let's put the speed set back on, shall we? There we are. And we'll just do that. I'll go back to the timetable. Elephant and Castle to Queen's Park, 11 trains per hour in each direction. Elephant and Castle to Stonebridge Park's got 3 trains per hour in each direction. Elephant and Castle to Harrow and Wealdstone, 6 trains per hour in each direction. So, yeah. Overground, we've seen some of that already. So we got a fully complete overground Lioness Line timetable, which I know was a comment, wasn't it, from the original timetable, that they weren't very frequent at all. There's 177 drivable services for the Lioness Line. 107 of those are in the 378. So you'll need the Mildmay line to provide that, the 378. 70 drivable Class 710 services, which of course comes from the Suffragette. There's also early morning and late evening empty moves to and from the Mildmay and Suffragette lines. So those overground services, actually, in the standard timetable, since we've had the 2 overground lines, I've quite enjoyed running those. That provided something different for me, because in real life, when I travel down to Euston, I'm from Preston, I'm only on the Pendolino. I don't think apart from catching the underground, obviously, all over London, I don't think I've been on a 378 or a 714. And for me to see the bottom end of the West Coast Main Line South by being able to run those services is quite nice for me. It's a different view of the lines all around Euston. Obviously, on the way in, you're coming in quite slow to Euston on the Pendo, so you can see them all zipping about, but I've never quite understood the way it all sort of connects together, etc. So I quite like the overground services that we can run in this, and I'm going to just increase the power now because we're on the 125 stretch. So let's see if we can accelerate up. Another flowing silk Pendo there. Not accelerating, is it? Let's do that again. That's better. Let's set the power off and reapply it. So, talking about the overground again, back in the manual, London to Watford Junction, calling at all stations, 4 trains per hour in each direction. So if you are just running the Line S line, you will see that is pretty good. Now, these two interest me a lot. We've got 2 drivable rail tour services. These are the East Anglian Rail Tour. So we have got 1 Zulu 87, the 0702 Crewe to Norwich, and we've got the 1 Zulu 89 1515 Norwich to Crewe. So the first one is Milton Keynes to Willesden Sudbury Junction. That's 58 minutes. And the Norwich to Crewe one is Camden Junction to Milton Keynes, which is 1 hour and 16 minutes. And they are in the class 87. So if you own the 87, there's 2 rail tours as well. And I've run one of those. I've run the Camden Junction to Milton Keynes one already, and I loved it. It was brilliant. So there's a bit of something different to do as well included with this. I'm just going to get the speed set back on any second. Just reapply the power and then get the speed set on. There we are. That's it. So, what else have we got? Because that's not all. We've got the new measurement train as well. So 2 drivable services with the new measurement train, which is, of course, an HST. The Network Rail HST. I don't know if we'll see it on this service, actually, because I've not run this service yet. But there is 1 Quebec to 8. That's the 1424 Derby RTC to Derby RTC Part 1. Which is Milton Keynes to Euston. That's an hour and 2 minutes. And then we've got the second part of 1 Quebec to 8, and that is Euston to Milton Keynes, 58 minutes. So, yeah, you even get to drive the HST. And that is not all, because there's more. The Railhead Treatment Train, of course, is still knocking around on this, and you've got 6 drivable Railhead Treatment Train services. But services will only appear as AI trains between October and December, so keep that in mind. There's a whole list in the manual of what those services are and the length of those services. So yeah, definitely go and have a look at the manual for that. Intermodal freight, 38 drivable services. Not only that, we got Freightliner services, so we've got 27 Freightliner services, 6 GBRF services, 1 DRS service, 2 Freightliner light loco moves, and 2 empty car carrier services. One's DB Cargo, one's GBRF. So again, a few liveries thrown in there with that. We've also got aggregates freight as well. 14 drivable services there. 4 of them are Freightliner, 1 is GBRF, 4 are DB Cargo, and there are 3 run-round shunting moves that have got multiple parts. So if you're a fan of freight, there's a lot in this for freight as well. You don't just have to do the passenger stuff. Of course, it goes without saying, there's a lot of AI on this route, and I'll let you read the manual for that. It's crazy. Have a read of the manual first. There's in the AI, there's LNWR, of course, Virgin Trains. You'll see the Bakerloo line, the Overground. You will also see the Rail Operations Group as well. Intermodal freight, West Coast Main Line, a host of other freight, intermodal freight, all sorts of stuff. It's impressive, put it that way. And it'll be available on the Train Sim community. I'm sure that's where it's going to release. So, requirements: the Class 350, So you'll need West Coast Main Line London Euston to Milton Keynes route add-on for the West Coast Main Line South. You will need the Pendolino, which is the deluxe, came with the deluxe edition of Train Sim World 5 West Coast Main Line South. You will also need the, let's have a look, London Overground Mild Main Line, the Suffragette line. Let me have a look what else you need. You will need the West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle, that'll be for the 87s. You will also need the West Coast Main Line South Enhancement Pack, which has the new measurement train reskin in there. You'll need the railhead treatment train, of course, for those services. East Coast Main Line you will need, because the 801 appears as well. So you will need the Class 66 freight liner reskin, blah 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 blah. It's all in the. This, honestly, there's too much for me to mention. I just wanted to show it to you guys today because I was pretty excited about it, and I was really pleased that I got early access to it as well. That was quite kind of them to do that. So a big shout out to Tom, who sent this my way. And I think you know, if we can get these kind of mods with timetables from different eras, then it's going to enhance the game, isn't it? Quite a lot. Because TS Classic, it's all about enhancements, isn't it? Which is what I've found since I've come into TS Classic. You build up your standard list of routes that you can get on Steam, but then there's so much you can do to bespoke it after that, and so much community stuff that you can add. I think TSW is just starting to do that now. I just hope in future there is a way that some of it can be done for console as well, because I would look at this as a console player and think, wow, I'd really want that. But as I said, it's not anything to do with on-track simulation. It's out of their hands. It's just the way that it works on console. But I definitely, hope there's some way in future that something like this can be done on console. We'll have to wait and see. Catching up to a 377. 12 miles to go to Milton Keynes. We're just catching him. He's motoring, isn't he? He's motoring. There you go, you see, he's on his way to Milton Keynes. He's a bit further forward than you will see him in the standard timetable that comes with the route. And you can drive those services, which is brilliant. So there's a bit more variety now. So we'll leave him behind. So there's quite a bit packed in. But as I said, if you're watching this video, go ahead and dig out the manual. Because, ahead of when it does actually release, which as I said, I understand is quite soon. I don't know exactly when. Ahead of that, you can get a hold of the manual and you can have a look what it contains. So if you're a PC player, then you can decide whether or not you add this. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time doing this. I think Monday night's live stream, I think we'll probably run this and we'll pick out a few of the different services that we've got as part of this new timetable. But yeah, I just like the fact that the route is busy, and we know that whatever time of day you run, it's just as the real timetable was in 2019. So what you see here is what you got at the time. So there's no reduction in the services. In fact, we've got something ahead of us. Look, as we turn this bend, it's a 350. And I think from an immersion perspective, it's brilliant. I mean, it's running. There's obviously a lot of traffic. I've got a fairly decent PC, so it's running fine on my PC. There's nothing noticeable going on with it. He says as it stutters very briefly, but that's probably because I've not run this. I've not run this service. But generally, the performance is excellent. Nice cruise at 125, and we've got 6 miles to go to Milton Keynes. So this one, yeah, straight through to Milton Keynes. This one doesn't stop. So if I look at that, 12:18, 12:20 out of Euston, straight up to Milton Keynes. And then in real life, this went on up to Manchester Piccadilly. What a pity we can't do that. Let's add it now. Let's add all the main line. That would be pretty good. And you know, running up and down this main line is something I quite enjoy in TS Classic. If you've seen the full length video that I did from Euston up to Glasgow, you'll know I quite enjoy this route, especially in the Pendo. Right, 4 miles to go, 3 minutes till we're due, so we're looking pretty good. So you see all the sidings are all occupied as well, which is always good to see. When do you ever see an empty siding? It's not often, is it? So you know, a lot of care and attention to detail was put in. This is a fans thing, isn't it? This, I think we've seen with on-track simulation that, you know, they're quite passionate about what they do. I mean, if you saw the live stream that we did on Monday night in TS Classic, I ran up the Cumbrian coast from Preston up to Barrow in the 37. That route is a freeway route, and that was on-track simulation as well. So if you didn't see that live stream, go and have a quick look back on the feed for that. I think you'll enjoy that. We gave it a bit of thrash all the way up to Barrow. And now we're arriving at Milton Keynes with no thrash, but nevertheless, it's a very nice run up from Euston, and I've quite enjoyed it. So, half a mile. And we should arrive bang on time, look, which is good for me. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you a little bit more of an explanation about what you can get in this mod once it releases. Do give me a feedback about it once it does come out, if you're going to grab this. Once again, just as a reminder, it is PC only, unfortunately, which is the way the game is designed for consoles. But I'm sure you PC players will enjoy it, and we will cover it a lot more over the coming days and weeks, and we'll look at some of the other services you can do with the other companies, not just Virgin. So we'll get the doors open here at Milton Keynes. And there we go. We're out of here. So thank you once again for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do give me a little like, and if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. We just hit 19,000 subscribers this week. Thank you to everybody that's already subscribed. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.